Nothing like the fresh smell of new leather. Something that Apple can't do anymore, right? If you didn't know, Apple is no longer offering leather cases. So you have this fine woven case. It's not the best. I'm not too mad at it, but it's definitely not something I would spend my money on. I would much rather get something like this. I personally love leather cases. It's usually the kind of case that I end up using a lot throughout the year. And this particular case is made by Andar, and it's the Aspen. Right off the bat, just like you saw at the beginning of the video, you're gonna notice that leather smell. And I love that smell. It's one of my favorite things about getting a new leather product. It's actually a little bit stronger than normal. Apple did a better job with their weight on the iPhone, this variant with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Previous years, previous models, man, those phones are heavy. It's not as heavy this time. But what I'm getting at is that when you add this case to this phone, it's not adding like hardly any extra weight at all. Less fatigue holding the phone. Or if you don't have a belt on your pants, your drawers aren't gonna drop to the floor. I love it when a company collaborates with the creator, and that's what happened with this case. This is the technically red variant for the Aspen case, and if you don't know who Technically Tee is, look him up on YouTube. He does a ton of case reviews and accessories for mostly iPhones. It's just a cool collaboration idea, so I love that, and I had to get the technically red one just because of that fact. Red is actually one of my favorite colors. Even though I wear black all the time, I don't know. Red is my favorite accessory. Like, I've had a lot of red cars. I digress. I don't need to get into all that kind of stuff. Anyways, love the red color, but you got a ton of different colors to choose from. And I got a couple other ones that I like a lot. This is the moss color, the green. Love it. It's fantastic. It looks great. And then you got your, I guess you would regular brown kind of color. Between the three of these colors, I would have a hard time choosing just one. Back when they first released this case, they had a cutout for the action button. And there was a lot of complaints about that, and they pivoted and they changed it and owned up to it, made a new case that has an action button cover now. And I like that change. A cutout for the action button just wasn't very practical. You had to really kind of press into that area just to even get it activated. So it was a good pivot. I appreciate that they adjusted that kind of stuff, and now you can get really like a perfect leather case for your iPhone. I say perfect, nothing's perfect, but for the most part, I really enjoy the craftsmanship of this case. The full wrap leather looks amazing. The buttons are very clickable, they're tactile. There's no problems with activating a button, whether it's the power button, the volume rocker, or now the action button. The bottom cutouts are nice and symmetrical. Like, there's just not really a complaint in how they designed this case. The cameras are protected from the raised lip, and I know some people, they like that precise cutout around the cameras. I'm fine with this kind of design. I know some people like to know if it rocks on the table, and if you're texting, you know, it's not that big a deal unless you have to go to the top left corner of the phone. But generally speaking, I might be using the phone and I'm swiping away. I'm not really texting. If I got a text, I'm picking the phone up or I'm typing on my computer. Or even, I mean, at this point, I'm using a lot of voice commands kind of stuff with my watch or even the phone. It is raised above the screen slightly, so if you do place the phone down, it's going to be protected against bumps and scrapes. As far as drop protection goes, it's going to protect it on light drops. You know, if you drop this thing straight on concrete, right on the corner, I mean, you just have a heightened chance of damage. That's just kind of common knowledge with this kind of case, but you are going to be relatively protected using this. Just listen to the materials that goes into making this case. It's got premium full grain oil waxed leather, alloy metal buttons optimized for responsiveness. It's got a soft microfiber lining for protection, Magsafe compatible, along with wireless charging, and there are some vegan leather options if you don't want this kind of leather. I use Magsafe accessories all the time between my wallet, ring holder, car mount, so on and so forth. So it's really important to me that Magsafe works great with the case, and there's no exception here. It works fantastic. It's actually rather strong, so I was able to lift up the phone, shake it around a little bit, not a problem. I mean, this is one of those cases where I'm looking at it, I'm using it, trying to figure out like what's a complaint or what's something that I could nitpick about. And there's really not much to nitpick. Like, Normally I don't like branding, and they do a good job with that. It's not obtrusive, it's there, but it's not like it's in your face or plastered all over it. I've got one scratch on it right now. That's gonna happen. I like patina anyways. My other complaint would be that the ring holder that I put on here, I can see where it was. So that's kind of, I don't want to see a circle on the back. I mean, for a leather case, like, you really can't go wrong with this. I don't have any complaints about it. I've taken it off and on, and you know, some cases kind of come off easy with these rounded edges on the new iPhone design, but it seems to stick pretty well. It's not like you have to like pry it off to get it off, so it's not like it's just gonna fall off or anything like that. That pretty much wraps up my thoughts about this Aspen case made by Andar. Love the collaboration with Technically Tee, the color options that you get, the full wrap of leather, the smell, that they owned up to, I guess you could say a mistake, design flaw about the action button, and they fixed that. What color would you pick? What's your favorite color options out of what you got? There's a link down below. If you use the code BANETECH, you'll save some money at checkout. Time for a thumbnail. How should I do this? I've done this for cases in the past. I'm gonna leave this at the end, like, what pose would you pick for a thumbnail? Any better than what I actually pick out? Do the old school, just hold it on in front. See, my thing is, like, I like showing my watch and rings, so maybe I do that. You know how awkward it is to pose like this? Like, what YouTuber O-face? I hate that. I'm not using that. I feel like an idiot doing that. All right. Should be something in there to use. Hopefully this is recording the whole time. It sounds good and no barking.